Hi Sam. Today, we are diving into the word
übernehmen,
Hi Alex.
Übernehmen.
That sounds interesting. What does it mean?
It really is.
übernehmen,
Means to take over or to assume responsibility. It's commonly used in situations like taking on a job or a task. Just be aware that it can be confused with the English word over, but it doesn't mean that in
Deutsch,
Got it. So, how do I use it in a sentence?
Great question. In the present tense, you say,
ich übernehme, du übernimmst,
and
sie es übernimmt,
in the past tense, it's
ich übernahm,
for,
Präteritum,
and in the,
perfekt,
you would say,
ich habe übernommen,
the imperative form is,
übernimm,
which is useful when giving someone a command.
That sounds manageable. Are there any interesting grammar points with this word?
Yes,
übernehmen,
is a separable verb, which means it can split in a sentence. For example, you could say,
ich nehme die Verantwortung über,
which means I take over the responsibility.
That's cool. Where does the word come from?
übernehmen,
Comes from the combination of the prefix,
über,
which means over or above, and the verb,
nehmen,
meaning to take. It has roots in Old High German and has evolved to mean taking on something more substantial over time.
I love how words evolve. Can you break it down more?
Sure. Let's take it step by step. The prefix
über,
indicates something being taken beyond the usual limits, and
nehmen,
is the act of taking. So, together, it conveys the idea of taking responsibility that goes beyond just a simple task.
That makes sense. Are there similar words I should know?
Yes, absolutely. 4 words with the same prefix.
über,
You can look at,
übertragen,
which means to transfer, and
übersehen,
meaning to overlook. Both carry the idea of something being done over or beyond.
What about suffixes?
For the suffix, we have
nehmen,
in other verbs like,
annehmen,
which means to accept, and
abnehmen,
meaning to remove. These show a similar action of taking, but with different contexts.
So, if I want to use
übernehmen,
in real life, what situations would be good?
Here are a few. First, at work, you might say,
Ich übernehme das Projekt.
meaning I am taking over the project. In a family setting, you could say,
Kannst du die Verantwortung übernehmen?
which translates to, can you take over the responsibility? And while traveling, you might say,
Ich übernehme die Planung.
meaning I will take over the planning.
Those are great examples. Let me try. If I say,
ich übernehme das Projekt.
Perfect. That's exactly right. Now, can you try saying one of the family examples?
sure.
Kann ich die Verantwortung übernehmen?
Excellent. Just a small note, you could also say,
Kann ich die Verantwortung übernehmen?
to sound a bit more polite.
Thanks for the tip. What about remembering the gender?
Since
Übernehmen.
is a verb, there's no gender. But if you're curious about nouns related to it, like,
Übernahme.
which means takeover, remember that it's feminine. A hint is that it ends with, which is common for feminine nouns.
That's helpful. Any common phrases or collocations with
Übernehmen.
Yes. You often hear,
Die Verantwortung übernehmen. Das Risiko übernehmen. Die Kosten übernehmen.
just be careful not to confuse it with,
Übertragen.
which means to transfer something.
I see. Can you give me some full sentences with
Übernehmen.
Sure. Here are a few.
Ich habe das Projekt übernommen.
Which means I have taken over the project. Another one is,
Übernimmt die Verantwortung für die Fehler.
meaning he is taking responsibility for the mistakes.
Those are really useful. What about a sentence with a preposition?
Absolutely. You could say,
Ich übernehme die Verantwortung für das Team.
which means I take responsibility for the team. Here,
Für.
takes the accusative case.
Nice. I think I'm getting the hang of this. How about a quick quiz to test my memory?
Let's do it. First question, what does
Übernehmen.
mean?
It means to take over or to assume responsibility.
Correct. Next, what is the present tense form for I take over?
Ich übernehme.
Yes. Now, can you give me the past tense form for I took over?
Is it?
Ich übernahm.
Exactly. Next question, what is the feminine noun form related to?
Übernehmen.
Is it?
Übernahme.
Right again. Last question, give me a sentence using
Übernehmen.
in the context of work.
Ich übernehme das Projekt.
Perfect. You really nailed it.
Thanks, Alex. This was a lot of fun. What should I take away from today?
The key takeaway is to remember that
übernehmen,
means to take over or assume responsibility. It's a versatile word you can use in many contexts. Keep practicing, and you'll master it in no time.
I will. Thanks for your help.